Hello everyone, this is Julia from Craft Room Adventures. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, I want to share with you my very first attempt at a more clean and simple type card. I usually make scene cards, interactive cards, so just leaving a lot of white space is very unusual for me, and I keep adding things and end up with a full scene before I know it. So this time I really tried, and I really like how it turned out, so I hope you do too. So I started out by stamping all of my images onto Bristol smooth cardstock in Versafine Onyx black ink, and now I'm just coloring in my pumpkin with bright yellow marker from Zig Clean Color Wheel brush marker. I'm adding in some olive green for the stem and for the leaves. And I will also be adding some deep green. For the pine cones, I'm using mid brown and brick beige, and for the stem of the apple, I'm just using the brick beige. Now I'm adding deep red for the apple. And again using mid brown and brick beige for the pine cone. Now I'm using some oatmeal because I wanted to keep them pretty light. And for the darker part, I'm also using some natural gray. No, also some mid brown, I'm sorry. And there I'm adding the natural gray. I'm scribbling it down on my mat because I didn't want it to be too dark. And for the cheeks, I'm using number 201 Pink Haze. For the squirrel, I'm using number 60 brown, and again just adding the marker where I want the shadows to be and blending everything out with my water brush. Whenever I want to add a second layer of color but I don't want it too intense, I just scribble down on my mat and pick up some color with my water brush from there. That just adds a very subtle layer of color. Also adding a pink cheek with Pink Haze, also for the ears. And now I'm blending my background. I use dried marigold, picked raspberry, and Seedless preserves distressing, and I'm just blending all of the colors back and forth because I knew that I wanted to cut out a circle, so I'm not worried about blending the entire panel or any of the edges because I just knew that I would be cutting it out. Here I die cut the circle with one of the Mama Elephant basic circle dies. And now I'm just stamping the sentiment from the fall banner buddies onto my circle because I want to heat emboss it. Adding some powder tool to my background. I also heat set it a bit beforehand to make sure that the ink was dry. And now I'm adding Versamark ink and stamping it down. Added a second layer because I couldn't really see it and I wasn't sure if the ink had transferred. I'm still new to using the MISTI because the lid is very light and it needs a different kind of pressure than the Tim Holtz stamp platform. Now I'm just adding some embossing powder from WOW, which is the rich pale gold in Superfine. Off to the side, my heat gun is already heating up, so it's nice and hot before I take it to the paper. And I'm just using a brush that I use exclusively for embossing powder to remove any strays. Now I'm just using my heat gun and melting the powder until it's smooth. I added some foam tape to the back of my circle, and I'm just adhering it onto the upper half of my card. And now it's time to place my images. I just used some foam squares to place them down. There we go. And that finishes up my card for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so very much for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye!